Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about Wakanda Forever. so, it's been a couple of weeks now since I've seen it, actually, and because I just wanted to just mull it over, to be honest. I did go in with very, very low expectations. I'd heard some really bad things about the film. I haven't exactly been thrilled with the MCU in Phase 4 anyway. I don't think anything has been particularly good other than Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah. Um, I think Shang-Chi was good. That was enjoyable. Other than that, it's been a lot of yeah. It's not been that good. So, like I said, I went into this with very sort of low expectations. And I did come out thinking, you know what, it wasn't too bad. There's a lot of problems with it, without a doubt. I think the pacing of the film can be better. It's an almost 3-hour film, and it really doesn't need to be. And I do think that although this was a good send off for Chadwick Boseman, the actor, you know, there was a lot of pictures, a lot of reminiscing, and it was quite heartfelt from that point of view. But for the character of the Black Panther, I felt that it was kind of disrespectful. He dies of a mysterious illness, and that's it. Shuri is within the first sort of 15-20 minutes, I believe, trying to save his life, and she fails. So it does kind of make them all look like complete failures. You know, this is supposed to be one of the most technologically advanced civilizations on the planet in the MCU, and the fact that they've come across a disease that they just don't know how to handle, it didn't sit right with me. Like I said, I thought for the character of Black Panther, I think if they're trying to go with what happened obviously with real life with Chadwick Boseman and not wanting to recast the character, which I was actually for. I thought it would be good to recast the character because I think having the Black Panther character is something that you need, to be honest, and that's something that I'll come on to. But to have him killed off like that and not by kind of saving the world, I thought was kind of disrespectful to the character. Like I said, not to the actor. It was a very good tribute to him. But in terms of the characters, what you've then left behind without recasting Black Panther, you've got some. Is it Angela Bassett? The sort of Shuri and Black Panther's mum. She's a phenomenal actress. She really is. But everyone else, they just kind of fade. You know, I can't remember the guy who plays M'Baku, but he was fantastic in this. But again, it's very, very minimal role. There's no one that can really. There's no one that has the presence that Chadwick Boseman had. So, with that problem, you've got a lot of peripheral characters that can't really take up that kind of screen presence, and it does show, unfortunately. So, with that in mind, I mean, what they've done with the characters, I'm not going to spoil too much, to be honest. There is a fair amount of character development, and it is something that I did actually quite like. You know, there's with a lot of the female heroes at the moment, they start perfect, they end perfect. There's nothing there. But with Shuri and the others, there is actually a lot of character development in this, which was actually really nice to see. And I did like the relationship between Shuri and Namor. But again, Namor I thought was not a particularly great character either. I don't know the actor's name, but again, not much of a screen presence. I felt they played on so much of the Mayan culture to give him that kind of gravitas that the actor wasn't actually doing anything himself, and that there's more to it than just kind of the big show. You know, you've got to have someone who can actually have that kind of screen presence, and I don't think he really did. So overall, it's an okay film if you go in with very, very low expectations. If you're going in thinking You know, you really liked the first one, can't wait to see the second one. It's not going to be for you. I'm going to be completely honest. It's nowhere near as good as the first one at all. And I do think the first one does get overly praised. You know, I didn't agree with it getting an Oscar nod. I thought it was good, but it wasn't that good. it's an entertaining film, whereas this one is just, I don't know how else to put it. It just seems kind of bland, to be honest. It felt very long, drawn out, and kind of boring at times. Like I said, there are certain aspects that are kind of cool, but it's very, very few and far between. I can't even think of something that I really, really liked off the top of my head. I do like the poster, however. That is a good thing. There's so many things that just don't quite make sense, even when it comes to Namor. Like how do they talk underwater? That was bugging me throughout the entire time. And also, I think they actually say that they breathe underwater by, just osmosis through the skin, and it just doesn't make sense. But you know what? Sure, we'll go with it. So, I can't even rank it within Phase 4, to be honest. I don't know where it ranks. I wouldn't say it's as bad as Black Widow, but it wasn't as enjoyable as like a Shang-Chi. We can completely forget about Spider-Man. It wasn't as enjoyable as Shang-Chi, but then again, it's got nothing compared to Phases 1 to 3. It was very bland. At absolute best, it's mediocre, and that's if you don't have a 2-hour 45-minute runtime. But yeah, I wasn't a massive fan. It was kind of boring, but I hope something better comes from the third one, if there is a third one. You know, I've heard reports that the second weekend dropped by about sort of 70% profits. It's not looking good for that particular franchise, and I don't know what they're going to do going forward. And I think if they are going to do something to spark some life in it, I think they do potentially need to either, well, they can't recast T'Challa anymore because they have killed him off, but I do think they need some sort of strong Black Panther. Shuri just doesn't have that kind of gravitas. So there's a couple of things set up with end credit scenes that may come, but who knows. But overall, a pretty kind of boring end to Phase 4, which is unfortunate. But hopefully Phase 5 will be a little bit better. I don't exactly have high hopes for it. Who knows? We'll see. But if you guys have already seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever, please let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, because it really does help me out. And I'll see you all in the next video.